Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. Today marks 10 years since the arrest of Ariel Castro on May 6, 2013, as Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry, and Gina DeJesus were freed from captivity after 11 years in Cleveland, Ohio. I spoke about it with actor Raymond Cruz, who played Castro in the 2015 Lifetime movie Cleveland Abduction, as well as his other career memories, including playing Sniper in Training Day and Tuco Salamanca in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Raymond, thanks for joining us on WTOP.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me.
So this is a true-life case that happened. How do you get into the mind of playing such a real-life, horrifying figure?
Oh, it's a lot of work. It's like putting together a giant puzzle, and then you have to try to figure out, what motivated this monster. And, the thrill for me was to actually play a monster. I was a big fan of all the old monster movies when I was a kid. So to play a real-life monster is an exciting opportunity.
Does it also, in addition to, it's obviously a juicy role to play, does it also feel a little odd knowing that this was a real-life monster, like you say?
Oh, of course. But what you're trying to do is to contribute to the story, to make it, to communicate what actually happened so that people have some sort of understanding about what went on inside this house of horrors.
Exactly. And also in your cast, you get to work with some pretty big names. Pam Grier from Jackie Brown, right? And Joe Morton from Scandal?
Joe Morton, Pam Grier. You have Samantha Droke is in it, Katie Sharif, Taryn Manning. It's a great cast. Did you watch Pam Grier, growing up and admiring her from afar? Oh, of course. Are you kidding? Who didn't? She's a beautiful woman. She's a really good actress. I loved all the old black exploitation films. Superfly was probably my favorite.
Yeah,
with Ron Ely.
Do you like that one better than Shaft?
That was the one that really stuck with me when I was a kid.
Gotcha. And have you been following Joe Morton on Scandal? Are you a Scandal fan?
I am a Scandal fan, and I have I know a couple of the actors on there, and it's great. I love the casting on the show. It's a soap opera, but it's a political soap opera, but I really do enjoy it.
Absolutely, and you're no stranger to hit TV shows. Do you always get stopped on the street saying, "Hey, Tuco, tight"? Do people just come up to you with that stuff?
All the time. I appreciate it because it really resonates with people. This is a character that struck a chord. A very frightening chord, but people do relate to it. So, it's just a thrill.
Did you pick up anything from working with Bryan Cranston?
Bryan Cranston is the nicest man. Every actor should have a chance to work with someone like him because he's just the sweetest guy. And you almost felt bad for what I had to do to him. I had to terrorize him on a daily basis. Yeah,
but he got you back in the end.
Oh, yeah. It was actually Hank who killed me, but you're right. It was a huge effort on everyone on their team to destroy Tuco.
Absolutely. Were you sad to see him go? And then once you heard about Better Call Saul and the chance to get to play him again in a prequel fashion, were you excited that he was back?
I wasn't sad to see Tuco go because it's such a hard part to try to pull off.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. What you're watching is condensed, but that's days and days of shooting scenes for 12 to 14 hours. It's a lot of hard work, and it's so physically, emotionally, mentally draining. Yeah, so when they finally killed him, I was happy. I think I was the only one that was happy to kill Tuco off, but when they asked me to come back, it was a great opportunity to revisit the character.
Do you take pride in that? The fact that they would, it's here you go, this villain in season 1 and a little bit of season 2. If it wasn't a big part, and let's say you weren't successful in it, they wouldn't have asked you to come back. But the fact that it really resonated with Breaking Bad fans through all the seasons, they remembered you as right up there with Gus as one of the most memorable, villains for Walter White. Do you take pride that they even asked you to come back for the prequel?
Oh, of course. It's kind of a badge of honor to be asked to come back and to participate. I'm a huge Vince Gilligan fan, and I love Breaking Bad. You got to remember when I first got involved with Breaking Bad, it had never even aired.
Yeah, that's true. And I know you were in Better Call Saul for a few episodes.
First 2.
Yeah, are you going to be, will we see you at all in season 2? Do you know yet?
Oh, I can't. Even if I did know, I can't tell you.
Well, what's it like?
That was the great thing about the season 1 was that nobody knew.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what's it like working with Bob Odenkirk? Are you thrilled to see that character get its own, his own day in the
I
sun?
loved his character on Breaking Bad, but I never had a chance to work with him. So to get an opportunity to work with Bob, and Bob, again, really creative guy, and it was fun doing the scenes with him. I enjoyed it very much.
Absolutely. And, personally, the first thing I remember seeing you in, this is going back a little bit, but I remember you in Training Day with Ethan Hawke in the bathtub with the gun to him.
Best scene in the movie.
Yeah, man. You know what? You stole the show, and, Denzel, Denzel wins the Oscar for it, but he kind of, pawned Ethan Hawke on you guys for a little bit to take care of him, and how does he get out of it? Don't you see his driver's license or something?
Yeah, we find his, Smiley's little cousin's bus pass and his wallet. And so, we want to figure out where it came from and what's the connection. And then we realize that he actually saved her. So we give him a pass. Otherwise, he was dead.
Absolutely. Were you thrilled to watch Denzel, go on and win the Oscar and, at least feel in your own mind that you had a little something to do with that, at least in terms of the story?
I'm a huge Denzel Washington fan. I loved him in The Hurricane. And then, to be able to have a chance to work with him on, in this movie, that was the reason I took the movie. And then, to be a part of it. And the movie, it's a really good movie.
Yeah, I think it really holds up. And it's bizarre to think that literally as soon as you guys finished that movie in 2001, Ethan went to work right on Boyhood, which, literally that's how long he was working on that thing.
Well, that's an interesting film, isn't it?
Over
a 12-year period, you shoot a little bit each time.
Are you excited to see, how well he's done?
He's a great actor, man, and I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised that Denzel won the Oscar. These are people at the highest level, so to get an opportunity to work with, actors and directors and producers, and not just on film but on television, it's a blessing.
Absolutely. And what about Aaron Paul? What was it like working with him?
I feel bad about that one because I think I scared Aaron Paul.
Why do you say that?
Well, every time I would walk up to him, he would start shaking.
Well, you're an intimidating character on that show, man.
Yeah, I know that.
All right. Well, anything else on this Cleveland kidnapping show?
Not anything you would expect from Lifetime. It looks like a gritty indie film, and people will be surprised by it. It's worth viewing, I'm telling you.
Awesome.
You will be disgusted by it, and you'll be surprised.
Yeah, well, with a story like that, it's going to be disgusting, but also hopefully, maybe try to shine a little light on it. It
really does, because it really is about Michelle Knight, and it's a survivor story. So you'll be surprised because there's a lot of inspiration in the film about this woman's journey from being held captive and tortured to finding her freedom.
Right, and Pam Grier plays a nurse helping her through it, right?
She helps her recover at the end of the movie. The thing to remember is this really happened. It's a lot different than just a piece of fiction. This actually happened, so to try to capture 11 years in a 2-hour movie, I think we did a good job.
Well, Raymond Cruz, thanks so much for taking time to join us on WTOP. Would you mind, before we go, say WTOP is tight, tight?
WTOP is tight, tight, tight.
Thanks so much for listening to Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Our theme music is Scott Buckley's Clarion. Remember to give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time. I wanted to take a second to tell you about an app I really enjoy. Living in the DC area is great, and Podcast DC gathers all of the local shows that I like all in one local app. Health, sports, local news, politics, and so much more. Podcast DC is the new local app with hundreds of DC area podcasts to choose from. I can earn exciting rewards just for listening and share the podcasts I love instantly. Available in the App Store or in Google Play, listen local with Podcast DC.